Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day today. This is your daily tarot reading for Thursday, January 10th, 2019. This is the second week of 2019. I hope it's been going well for you so far. We're almost done with the second week. So, let me know in the comments how it's been thus far. Hopefully you're able to stick to your goals and you've been, just doing whatever it is that you want to do this year, that you're actually doing it, okay? So let's see what your overall energy is for this day. What is your overall guiding energy for this day, for Thursday, January 10th, 2019? What is your overall guiding energy for this Thursday? Ooh, already about to lose all my cards. What is your energy to guide you? And this energy, in case you're new to the channel, is going to help us understand the rest of this reading and understand what these other cards may mean when they come out. And it's going to guide the energy of this reading. So what is your overall guiding energy for this day, for Thursday, January 10th, 2019? I dropped some cards. I dropped like all these cards. And that is why I won't be reading all these cards. But let's see, what is your energy today? Guiding energy, overall energy for this Thursday. Focus on the light, okay? So it's possible you have been dealing with some negative energy, and it's also possible that you just had a normal good day. Whatever it is, this is telling you to focus on all the positives of your day, focus on the positives of your emotions. At the end of this day, think about all of the things that made you smile or made you feel grateful, or if you didn't actively feel grateful, think of all the things that you can be grateful for today, and all the things that are light and beautiful and hopeful and happy in your life. Whatever it is, just focus on that. We will get a little bit more in depth with the coming cards, but like your main message here is just focus on the positive, focus on the good that's happening. Whatever experiences you're facing today, really look at it as something that is meant to bring more light into your life, okay? So let's see what your aspirational energy is. This is the energy that you can aspire to if you're able to overcome all of your challenges. And it is also going to tell us a little bit more about what this Focus on the Light card is. So what is your aspirational energy for today, for Thursday, January 10th, 2019? What is your aspirational guiding energy for this Thursday, January 10th, 2019? Interesting. So the Tower. So you're turning away from something that has no longer been serving you. It hasn't been bringing you joy. It hasn't been bringing you any sort of success, any sort of forward movement in your life, and you're realizing that. And so this is just a destruction of things that haven't been serving you. It's like releasing all this stuff that hasn't been good for you. And it's not, with certain cards, the message is sometimes things go bad, but then they'll get better. This is a little bit different in saying that whatever it is that hasn't been serving you, it's got to go. It's just got to be gone. It's not something you need to rethink and try to bring back into your life in a better way. It's time for you to let that go. It's time for you to just be like, you know what? That's not serving me. This job isn't serving me, this project isn't serving me, this mindset isn't serving me, whatever it is, I gotta let that go and get rid of it so that I can see what's coming next, okay? This is telling you there's some huge change for you to look forward to, some very big changes coming into your life, and whatever these changes are, it's going to require the letting go of something else, something that has just not been bringing any sort of positivity, any sort of light, any sort of healing into your life. And whatever you're experiencing today, whatever it is that might be falling apart, that you might have to let go, just focus on the positive. Try to laugh through it. This could also be a message that, you have to be a little bit more stable in the way you react to things, because sometimes things don't always go the way we want them to go, And it's very easy to get upset and let that ruin your whole day. But don't do that. Focus on the light and just understand that whatever it is that's falling apart, it's something that just has to happen. It's just something that is. And you're going to be able to accept that, okay? So let's see what your challenge is on the physical level. This is concerning things like your body, your health, your career, your finances, your home life, anything just on the physical, earthly, more mundane level. What is your challenge today for Thursday, January 10th, 2019 on the physical level? What is your challenge on the physical for whoever this reading is meant for, please? And thank you, as always, for being here. For you being here, thank you so much. And thank you, of course, to our higher selves and to our angels and our guides and all those beings that are here watching over us and allowing us to share these messages with one another. So thank you so much for being here and for all of your guidance. So what is your challenge today? Death. Again, there's change. Again, there's time for you to let something go. So there's a part of you that you're just letting die. There's a part of you that you're trying to get rid of. But because this isn't in your challenge position, you're just having a lot of trouble letting go whatever it is that isn't serving you. You're saying, you know what, you want to hold on to it. It's something that you, there's some value for you just on a sentimental level. It's like, I care about this, I want to keep doing this, I want to have this in my life, but it hasn't been serving you. It's never been serving you. Or even if it was in the past, it's starting to crumble right in before your eyes, and it's like, you don't want to let that go, but it's time for you to let it go. It is really time for you to let whatever this is, whether it's a job, whether it's a path you've chosen, some sort of, whether you're going to school for something and you spent like 5 years in school for this thing, and every year you just hate it more and more, and you realize that this is not something you actually want to pursue for the rest of your life and do all the time, then that's something for you to consider. That's something for you to say, all right, if I don't want to do this all the time and I don't love this and I feel miserable when I'm doing it, then why am I doing it? Why am I pursuing this? So really just let go of whatever it is that has not been bringing you healing, that has not been serving you, that has not been bringing you any kind of positivity or balance. There's a very big imbalance here. So let go of this focus, this whatever it is that you're focusing on, okay? So let's see if we can I want to know if we can learn a little bit more about this, but let's see what you can do to overcome this inability to let go, this inability to want to change. Like, you're very much against change right now. What was that? What is this death that you're facing, and how can you overcome it? So I'm gonna pull 3 cards and see first maybe what this death is, maybe something that can help us understand a little bit more about what it is that you're having trouble letting go. So what is it that you're having trouble letting go on this physical challenge area? Page of Cups. So it might be romance. It might be like some sort of creative endeavor that you've been focusing on, and you haven't been you just haven't been as happy doing it, or happy being in this position, happy being in this relationship or this experience. I'm thinking relationship just because the cups they represent love. Generally, they represent relationships, they represent creativity, they represent art. So if you've been in any of those fields, creative fields, artistic fields, and it hasn't been serving you, then maybe the way you're approaching it is no longer working, but you don't want to let that go just yet. You don't want to let go of the way you're approaching your life, the way you're approaching this project or creative endeavor, or this relationship, whatever it is. It's something that you need to find a new perspective on. So let's see how you can overcome this death. So that was just a little bit to understand what it is that you're having trouble letting go of, what you're having trouble letting die. And I think it's like the way you're approaching a situation. It's the way you've been working towards this goal and the way you've been so attached to it. But let's see how you can overcome this challenge. How can you overcome this death card, this fear of letting things go and fear of changing your course or changing your behavior, your approach here. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So, you know, be careful of blaming other people for any of your failures. But, you know, Six of Swords, yeah. Right, so with the Six of Swords, this is speaking of a mindset change and active change that you're making, and you are trying to make this change. However, the way you're dealing with it is the same way you've dealt with all of your other problems in the past. And even though you're trying to create change for yourself, the way you're thinking about creating this change, the way you're like I said, approaching creating this change, or the way you're approaching this new endeavor, this new lifestyle, this new experience, this type of success, you're holding on to old ideas, you're holding on to old mindsets, you're holding on to old methods. And even though you are saying you want to change and you're changing and tweaking little things, these bigger ideas, these bigger mindsets that are still underneath for you, you're carrying them with you, and that's not going to serve you. That's going to just keep you kind of in this same cycle where you're going to see a little bit of success, but then if there's any kind of failure, then everything falls apart because you're not really you haven't really changed the way you assess the situation. You haven't really changed the way you go after things, okay? And it's possible you'll find some success, but it's also possible you're just going to plateau. So really consider changing your mindset, changing the way you think about this situation, stopping and saying, you know what, I have been doing things one way for so long and it feels right. And even if it's not the worst way, even if everything hasn't fallen apart yet, I don't feel like it's going to get me to that point where I am beyond successful, where I am feeling all the yes of the universe, where I am reaching my goals, where I'm achieving fulfillment. Okay, so we have the full moon in both of these videos, but they're both a little bit oh, I just lost the word. What was the word? They're hidden behind something. There's a word that I'm thinking of, but they're not fully visible because your hopes and your dreams have not been fully realized, and you can't fully realize them. You can't even fully visualize them. You can't really fully visualize them because you're still holding on to these old mindsets, all right? And that's going to that's going to steal some of your success. And it's not someone else. It's not someone outside of you. It's you. It's your mindset. It's these old ideals, these old hopes, these old approaches, you got to get with the times. You got to move forward. You got to change the way you look at things. You got to change the way you understand things. You have to change the way you go after things. And change the way you think about going after things, and change what you think about success. Like, what does success mean to you, and what has it meant to you for the last 2 years, and how have you been trying to approach it for the last 2, 5, 10 years? You know, what have you been doing so far, and what can you change, and why have you been doing it the way you've been doing it? Okay, so really, really consider changing the way you're approaching this situation and being wary of your own mindset and your own internalized prejudices and biases towards this situation. Be aware of those things taking from your success and taking from your abundance, okay? So there is a possibility to achieve those goals, but you really have to take a mindset shift here. So let's see what's going on. Speaking of your mindset, on the mental, emotional, and spiritual level, what is your challenge underneath the surface? What is your main challenge for today, Thursday, January 10th, 2019, on the mental, emotional, and spiritual level? What is your challenge? So you have the King of Wands. On the bottom here, we have the Knight of Coins, and it just says "hate me," and I just think that's really crazy and cute. But you have the King of Wands here, and I think with the King of Wands, what's going on is there is there is this sense of being able to be great, and you are aware of that sense. You're feeling that. However, you're worried that it's a facade, that it's going to that's going to eat you alive. That if you try to be great, um, you're going to come out on the other side of this attempt having not only failed, but having shown yourself to have been way less competent than you originally thought you were, having shown yourself to be some sort of like a fraud. You feel like maybe you can't actually achieve these goals, and that trying to achieve these goals is going to um, bring you to your destruction. Like it's going to put you in a position worse than where you are now. And that's not saying that's what's going to happen. That's what you're feeling. That's just kind of, you're just so afraid of what it could be like to be great at something, to be great in someone else's eyes, and you're so internally focused right now that all you can think about is what it would feel like to fall apart, what it could feel like to fail, or what success could do to you. Even if you think you're not going to fail and you think you're going to be okay, you're not sure what changes are going to come to pass when you are successful, when you do go after your goals. And there's so much like passion inside of you right now. There's so much like heat and fire and desire to achieve these goals, and you want it pretty bad. You're ready to go after it. You really want to go after it, but you're just so worried that if you go after it and you do succeed, then your fall is going to be harder. It's going to hurt more if you do fail, when you do fail. And we all fail eventually. We all fail. If you take on a path, you're eventually going to trip. That's just natural. That's just the way it is. And like you're worried, that once that happens, it's going to mean destruction. It's going to mean like it's going to be more than just a little bit of a mistake. It's going to be harder. It's harder to fail when you're successful than it is when you've never known success. Like if you've failed over and over and over again your whole life, it's a lot easier to say, okay, if I fail again, I'm used to it. But if you're successful and you're working really hard and you're getting so close to your goals and you're like right here and then suddenly you're down here, that's a lot harder than going from here to here to here again. Or, well, you can't see it, but here, if that makes any sense. Okay, so like you're just really worried about what kind of destruction can come to pass regardless of fail or success. You're very much worried about all of this fire and all of this passion that's welled up inside of you, and how big it's getting. What's going to happen if that fire goes out? What's going to happen if something blows it out a little bit, or if you give up, or if you keep going and you fail? Okay, yeah, you just don't want to be destroyed. You don't want to be lost. It's like this little monster inside of you, and you're so worried that this little monster is the real you, that this little monster that's going to that can come and tear everything apart is just right under the surface and ready to come and rip you to shreds. And that's kind of your fear. So let's see what you can do to overcome this challenge. How can you overcome this King of Wands challenge, this fear that there's a part of you that's going to sabotage everything, that there is a part of you that's going to fail, and that if you do succeed, then when you do fail again, it's going to be that much harder, and you're just so afraid of this destruction. The Four of Swords just jumped out at me, so I think this is a message saying, you're safe here. Your worries are not necessarily as founded as you may think. You are not in this position where you have to be on guard, even though you are. So let's see. I'm still gonna pull 2 cards to ask how you overcome this challenge, but I do think that Four of Swords is a message for you to kind of take a step back and say, okay, I'm gonna be okay. I'm not gonna freak out all the time. if I do fail, then that's okay, but I am currently in a place where I am able to succeed and able to be safe trying to succeed and trying to find success. So how do you overcome your challenge today? You're the Magician. That is your reminder that you are very, very skilled. And again, you have the World. And I say again because I'm pretty sure this popped up like twice this week already. So with the World, you know, you have success available to you. You have everything that you need. You have all of the tools and all the wisdom and all the smarts that you need to achieve this. With the Magician, it's saying, you know, remember how much work you've put in to get to this point. Like, this isn't something that you just out of your head decided to do. This is something that you're skilled in. This is something you've studied or practiced. This is something you've taken the time to understand more than just on a surface level. And so this is something you've practiced with, right? So you're practicing all the time. And, you know, I think this is just a reminder that you have this ability. Like, both, we have behind him, we have some sort of planet or moon. Behind her, of course, we have the World and the full moon. Where am I going? We have the full moon here. So I feel, and these, you know what? These are two ends of a spectrum too. Like, this is the first card after the full, and this is the last card in the deck. Okay, so you are going on a journey. You are not, this is not something that is going to change overnight. This is not something that you're going to fully understand overnight, but you have to accept that you're on a journey. I think you're being very impatient. I think that's one of the big problems. You're like, I want this greatness and I want to do all this stuff, but then the faster you get big, the harder it is going to be for you to continue that momentum. And I think you're very much in a rush here, and that's probably why you're afraid that it's going to fall apart, or that some part of you is going to come and sabotage you, because possibly in your history that's something that's happened. But again, you are safe in this situation. You are able to relax here. You're like in a place where you already have the skills and the knowledge that you need to continue on this journey. And when you complete this journey, there will be success for you. There will be a fulfillment. You will be fulfilled. I feel like that's one of the big issues I have, or not issues, one of the big energies I'm feeling from all of these cards. So we have the full moon here. We have this full planet or moon here. We have both a full moon in both the Six of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, right? That tells me that you are on the path to fulfillment. You're on the path to really feeling whole, to feeling satisfied with your life, to feeling joy beyond words. But you do need to relax. You're too tense right now. You're way too in your head at this moment. You're digging deeply inward so much. But we have change that you have to come through. You have to deal with that. You have to let something go, and you have to let go of some old mindsets that haven't been serving you, and you have to be okay with destruction, because something's got to go. Something is not serving you right now, and whatever that is. In fact, let's see, what is it that isn't serving you right now? What is it that you need to let go of, that you need to destroy, like the Tower, that you need to let go of, like the Death card? What is it that these two cards are speaking to that needs to let go? Can we have something just a little bit more clear, just a little bit deeper, so we can understand what it is that needs to be let go of? What do you need to move on from besides this mindset of worry and fear of failure? The Hermit. Okay, so I think there's this energy of you think you know everything that there is to know about this situation, and you are trying to control this situation right now, but it is not in your control. You need to understand that these changes are going to be natural, and you are so at this point where you're trying to control everything, and you're trying to do it all on your own, and you're trying to just like distance yourself from other people in this field, and distance yourself from other people who are trying to help you and trying to guide you and trying to help you through this situation. You really just are in this position where you're trying to control this situation so much. And look, we have the Hermit and Wheel of Fortune, 9 and 10. So again, it's a transition. Again, it's like a moving journey. This isn't something that's going to just snap in your head. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. This is something you have to put in the energy and the effort for, and you have to move away from this hermit energy, this energy of trying to be on a very specific and tiny path and trying to do things one specific way, and understanding that there will be ups and downs, there will be changes, and that's okay. That tower isn't the end. It is just it is just part of the journey. Okay, but this journey is ongoing and it is moving in different directions. It's not just a straight path. You're not on one linear path. Okay, and I think you're feeling that you're on this specific linear path is what's making you fear where it's going to be, because you think you can see exactly where you're going to be like a year or 10 years from now, but and you're afraid. You're worried about either it's not going to be that way and it's going to fail, or it is going to be that way and you're not going to love it. You're not going to be happy. But here's the thing, the path changes. It changes as you change. So let yourself change, let yourself grow, and let go of these old mindsets that are not serving you. They're not moving you forward. They're not helping you at all. So let them go and free yourself so that you can focus on the light. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow. If you'd like a more personal reading, because these are general readings, click one of the links below to book one. And thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Remember always that I love you. Bye.